I'm T-Set, and this is a tea time lapse. I really wanted to try making mobile wallpapers for you guys as a reward, and I kept having a bunch of different ideas that didn't pan out or I lost energy on in the loose sketch phase. So I was really happy when this one finally stuck in my brain and I was making progress on it. I wanted to revisit my Ramune girl character. She's a character I came up with for an illustration back, was it 2 years ago now? And I've had people since say that they really like that character design, and I wanted to revisit the character but also give her a different outfit other than the yukata that I put her in the first one. So I chose to make this picture with a lot of floating gacha capsules and gachapon machines. To do that, I had to design several different toys that were simple enough that I could turn around at different angles and draw them at different sizes, and they would scale up fine. So here we have me concepting those different designs. The first time I drew her, I gave her a transparent plastic clasp purse, and I wanted to give her one again. She of course has to keep her bubble braids, those are signature. I wanted to give her some big chunky shoes. Originally I wasn't sure if they were going to be sneakers or sandals, but I ended up sticking with the sandals. I did, however, not want to draw bare feet, and that's why she's wearing socks with her sandals. I tried my hardest with the folds of the clothing, but I really want to improve more at that. Really, there's no excuse. I just need to use reference more often. I frequently just do everything from my head, and there's only so far you can get with that. Drawing detailed sneakers and sandals that are this modern style is a fairly new thing with me. I think I started really putting in an effort with it when I was drawing Splatoon fan art last year, and I really continued to put in an effort in it, even though personally in real life I very much prefer vintage and antique replica shoes, and I really like things that have that are fairly lightweight and don't have thick soles. So it's funny drawing these characters wearing shoes that I would never wear in real life because I wouldn't feel comfortable in them. You can see me redrawing the hand and redrawing the face. The nice thing about working digitally is that if you really don't like the face in the beginning, you can just come back and redo it later. And I super appreciate that as someone who used to ink traditionally. Drawing in all the little figures, all the little toys at different angles. I love these bouncy balls that have suspended glitter in them. I haven't had a bouncy ball in years, but the ones with suspended glitter are just so appealing. Trying to figure out how to communicate the form of the hand without putting too many lines in there, and I don't know that I nailed the balance here. And of course, since this is a drawing of my Ramune girl, I have to add in a Ramune bottle. Ramune is of course the Japanese version of the word lemonade. The bottle, I think, is from England and was made as an alternative to using a cork to seal a bottle. For whatever reason, Japan still makes this kind of bottle, and I appreciate it because I think it's a really cool design. I believe I'm in good company when it comes to that fondness of the bottles. I sketched a flat version of the gachapon machine so that I could then distort it over the different angles of the machines. That way I could get the proportions of the like turny thing and the coin slot and slot where the capsule comes out of and the coin comes out of if you return your coin. I tried to get the proportions of those all consistent to distort a flat image onto all those different surfaces. Made that very easy to do. I love this little guy that's just in the corner staring straight at the viewer. And then I'm taking all the line art that I've done so far and dividing it into 3 different layers, 3 different categories. So my dark lines, my lighter lines, and then the lines that are going to be transparent objects. And so I ended up going with an off-white color for. Sometimes I do this from the beginning. Sometimes I go in and partway through start properly organizing everything onto the separate layers. So from here on out, I draw correctly on the different layers depending upon what darkness, what colored lines I want it to be. And drawing in all the capsules. The capsules were a surprising headache to draw. There's a lot of subtlety to the shape, and I probably could have made it easier on myself by making them just the pure sphere gacha capsules, but I really wanted this other shape with a more flat bottom and rounded top. I was really intimidated when it came to coloring this piece. I just wasn't sure what I was going to do, and so I ended up looking at different artists that I followed to see if I could come up with any palettes that I liked. The artist whose work I ended up referencing is happy_115. That's happy spelled with an I instead of a Y. A lot of their work is very blue, but they also have some more colorful pieces, and that ended up being helpful to me for coming up with what kind of color scheme I wanted to do. I wanted the machines to kind of recede, so I made them a blue, and the background is a very dark blue, which made it a little bit hard to flat, so I often have it turned to, look kind of gray. Oh my goodness. I flickered on and off layers so many times while working on this, and it left like broad swaths of white, and so there's lots of flashing in the video, and I had to carefully go through and try to edit out the worst ones that I thought might be uncomfortable to watch or maybe even be problems for people with epilepsy. Since I knew I was going to share a flatted version of this instead of just a fully shaded piece, which I still may do at some point in the future, I decided to rely more on gradients to add some visual interest to make things feel a little less flat. I really love how soft and warm all the toys feel. And here I'm adding in the glitter, which I had sketched but not drawn line art for. Oh, I'm curious, which toy, not just the design, but like which specific one that I drew ended up being your favorite? I feel like people are quite fond of the bread guy. I think I really like the bottom right guy. That's the one that I'm using as my Discord icon right now. I experimented with maybe adding highlights to the flat version, but I ended up not quite vibing with it and preferring it to all feel a bit more flat. And then as a last touch, I added all these blue stars around. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.